Hi and welcome back. So today I thought I would actually get to show you guys a big part of my main creative job, which is game design. So technically I'm not actually going to be showing you the game design, but I'm going to show you how I design the game books for the games that I designed. Designception. So I also do the layout and, any kind of graphic design elements that end up going along with my games, because that's part of being an indie game designer, is that you are everything that makes this game. And so I have a series out right now called 10-minute TTRPGs, where I create a game in under 10 minutes. And the episodes are also on this channel. But right now I've just been releasing them as like plain Word or PDFs or whatever. And now it's time to make them pretty like all of my other games. So the games that we are doing layout and everything for today are New Adventures for Lovers, Don't Go Following Me, and initially it was called Goodnight Desert, but in redesigning it I have renamed it Night Desert, because Goodnight Desert sounds too much like Goodnight Moon, and it kept throwing me off and I kept accidentally calling my own game Goodnight Moon, so now it's just Night Desert. No, I really love doing the layout for these games, and it like really hurt my soul to release them without fancy game books, but part of trying to do this to show people that like it doesn't take much to get started into game design, is also trying to not daunt people with like feeling like they have to do graphic design for the games when they release them, because a ton of free games out there, they're literally just plain text PDFs. Like, you don't need to do all this. It's just that I love it and it's also my main thing, so that's why. For New Adventures for Lovers is I think I said that it had to be like a 4+ player game, no GM, that makes or reveals double dating to be as competitive as I think it really is. So that's the vibe that we were going with for this game to start with. I always knew it would kind of look like a dinner menu, because it just so many dates revolve around dinner, which is ass, by the way. But I thought, it kind of looked like, because there's so much you can pick in the character design thing. I kind of wanted it to look like, like a menu where you pick things off from, and you also have to do that like together. I thought it was pretty, I thought it was cute, I thought it was romantic, I thought it was silly. And that's really the most of the thought process behind that one. I just thought that it would be cool and silly and fun, and it made for a really, really cute PDF. I actually didn't do a cover image for this one because it's also a micro TTRPG, and I thought that, when you get a menu, sometimes you just get it and it just starts with straight menu, so I thought that it would look nice that way. For Don't Go Following Me, which is a thriller, a timed one-person like solo thriller TTRPG, I wanted it to look kind of like, like a ransom note, like with a bunch of like newspaper clippings. It's just that like I don't own the license to any like fonts that like people have already pre-made with that. I don't feel comfortable just taking stuff off of the internet stuff. So, but what I do have at home, I don't have a newspaper. I am not that kind of bitch, but I did have a Bravo. So the Bravo is a girly pop teeny magazine here in Germany. This is kind of an old one, but I grabbed this last summer because my roommate told me that she'd never had a slumber party, and I was like a really kitschy, like movie one, and I was like, I have provided many a slumber party. I think they're very fun. And so I grabbed some teeny magazine. So I have this, and I went in and I just took pictures of like the I don't know, like titles, subtitles, stuff like that, like pieces of that, and then I popped the pictures into Procreate and I cut them apart in Procreate to put together, and then I added some textures to it to make it look slightly less like a girly pop threat and more like a thriller horror TTRPG. And I took a picture from the product listings on, I think, like USPS or something, to get that like high definition like envelope. And then I stuck them on there like they were glued on there. I used a font that looked kind of like stamp for my name. And that was Don't Go Following Me. The rest of it was a matter of kind of getting this like papery texture to make it look like the game book is this envelope that you get, and inside are your instructions that are, stamped, typed in there for anonymity. And then you got 30 minutes, you gotta go. So that leads us to Night Desert. I almost said Goodnight Moon again. It's haunting me. I don't care that I changed it. It's haunting. This is my nightmare, actually. So, Night Desert is a nightmare fixing TTRPG that's a two-player. So it's a GM and a player. So technically one player and one GM. I love it. I love a nice, cozy, like intimate, fast-paced, focused game like this. This is a really fast-paced game. It's also timed again. I do love a timed game. I have several. I have designed timed games before, and I do like it. I think it adds a layer of fun stress to the situation that I just think is great. Night Desert's actual layout fought me so much that as of recording this, I have figured out what I want to do, I think. But I haven't done it because I wanted to start filming while I had like nice light and stuff. But yeah, I like did a whole 3D modeling thing, and that was not working for me aesthetically, so I abandoned that. I had an initial color palette that was like very like lots of different kinds of purples, a little blue, a little black. I was like, that's not working for me. So we're going with relatively simplistic. I want the typography to be kind of trippy in the layout sense. I need it to be legible, you know, but like I will be pulling at it a little. Like it's all about like being lightly distorted. There's gonna be noise because like it's there's gonna be noise. There's gonna be some parts that are a little bit more blurred. The good thing is I can make these as trippy as I want because all of the games still come with a fully legible black on white PDF. So Night Desert, formerly Good Night Desert, but Night Desert came from me. I have chronic nightmares. I've always had chronic nightmares, chronic night terrors as well. It's not fun. I think the lucid dreaming came from the fact that since I was little and I had them, I was kind of told to, you know, coping mechanisms to fix your nightmare. So if you wake up and you're scared from your nightmare, to like kind of like put yourself back in it, like, you know, in your imagination and fix it, depending on what it is. I think the episode where I designed this live was really fun. I talked about it a lot there. So that was the vibe. But I wanted the whole thing to just look kind of like unreal, like just off. And so I hope I accomplished that. We'll see next to me if I did, because I don't know. I'm about to do it. So but yeah, that would be the concept for the layout behind Night Desert. All right. So that was it. We designed the layout for 3 of my games. 3 of my micro TTRPGs specifically from my most recent designs. From my show 10-Minute TTRPGs, which you should also check out. You can check it out here on YouTube, but you can also check it out on like Spotify or most places where you get your podcasts. I can no longer say all places where you get your podcasts because Apple Podcasts makes me crazy, and I don't have a lot of my shows on there because it's hard to. I just hate it. I hate navigating it. Anyway, sorry. I guess I don't think Apple needs my apology. Anyway, so yes, and if you liked those, or if you're curious about more, I have an itch.io, cutesbetween.itch.io, where you should check out my other games. I also have really big games. They're not all micro TTRPGs. I also have some big ones in there. And one of them, I Spy, is actually getting not only a 2nd edition where the mechanics get an entire like huge overhaul, it's also getting a sequel. So the sequel is I Spy 2, Agents of Tlaloc, and this time you will be playing as the antagonists from the first game. You get to flesh those out, and you get to live out your, like, honestly kind of like Bond villain meets, potentially if you wanted to, Debs, fantasy. You know, if you ever wanted to be, what's her name, Jordana Brewster? Now's your chance. From Debs, of course, not like General Jordana Brewster. That's not a TTRPG that I have designed. That would be creepy. Anyway, so I have those. I have Hex Mahma, which is my to-date best-selling game, which is a magical cat, like a familiar magical cat TTRPG that can be very like lighthearted, down-to-earth, but also like whimsical and, you know, silly. We have another fan favorite, which is Forever 41, where you are a retail undead and you have to try to get through your day without slaughtering your customers. Which is, by the way, also getting a 2nd sequel because it already has Forever 41 and then Forever 41 Holiday Edition. All of which, by the way, were inspired by my actual previous work in retail and the feelings that came along with it. But now, actually, because it's a 2-player, the original game in the Holiday is 1 GM, 1 player. And now it is finally getting a full multiplayer version, and I'm super excited about it. I'm loving like designing it. I'm loving working on it, and I'm really excited about like developing new mechanics that work within the mechanics of the old system, or kind of compatible together. Anyway, so we have that. We have much more. I can't talk about all my games on here right now. That's a whole different video. But yeah, I hope you guys check them out. I hope you like them. I hope you like some of the ways they look. A lot of the games also come with their own streaming kits, so you can make your own VODs of you and your friends playing it, or you playing them yourselves for YouTube and Twitch. So that's that. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've played any of my games or you like any of my games on itch and you downloaded them, you can, even if you just like, claimed them, I also have community copies. Please make sure to leave me a very nice comment and review over there if you want to. I don't think you need an account to do that. Don't hold me to that. I don't know. I've always had an account. So, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.